and grant me the strength to know that the earth is filled with assholes and fuckery that I cannot change, and the courage to not be part of the assholery and the fuckery, and the wisdom to know that
Hi guys, so I had planned to do a reading for Ostara, so the decks I picked out were kind of more Ostara and nature themed, but life happened, so I thought I would just, it's still technically, we're in that Ostara period, which is the time for renewal and rebirth, so I'm still going to make it an Ostara reading, even though I'm late. Uh, so one of the decks that I picked, of course, is my Sacred Forest Oracle, and I got out my Earth Magic Oracle and my Mystic Forest Oracle cards and my Wheel of the Year Tarot, but I don't have a box for that. My Tarot of the She, and my Witch's Garden Tarot. So let's get started, shall we? Oh, and I forgot my Shadowscape Tarot. A lot of you already know what that looks like. Hold on, just in case you don't. That's the might help if I turn it right side up. The Shadowscape Tarot. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the oracles this time. So card number 1 is whatever your wish. And also you need to spend a time doing some meditation. That's the first thing I'm going to bring up with that. So it says, when you lessen the importance of the problems and the suffering, life will swing back into balance. Stop the struggle and feel peace. The world responds to you. So that's part of the oracle portion of the reading. Forgot my paper. So with the, what did I do with it? Okay. So with the tree. So with this has a lot to do with grounding and having good roots, and also examining the roots, whether it's the root of a problem or having a good foundation, especially when you feel scattered, so you really need to get more roots. This has a lot to do with actually going outside and touching grass, and as the previous card showed, maybe some time out in nature, and like I said before, meditating. Of course, she's meditating in front of the tree. I had to readjust myself here. Going with the flow and maintaining your peace and going with that flow. Right now, someone's just really feeling kind of scattered, and that's a lot to do with the roots, and of course, balance, as above and so below, and maintaining that balance. And again, here with Water Spirit, this talks, the beaver here, he just kind of gets in and goes with the flow of the, maintaining that peace. So maybe some time to yourself, time to study, going with the flow, maintaining that peace. Emotional regulation, whether it's you or someone around you, that needs to be focused on. Focus a lot on your cups, whether your cup is empty, you need to see to it that that's filled, or if it's overflowing, where you're feeling overwhelmed. So you need to keep, ordinarily, you would need to keep things in balance, but conserving your energy and conserving your resources seems to be the big theme throughout this reading, because I've already uh did the cards, and you really need to focus on what's important, conserving your energy and all of that. So that's just something that you really need to focus on, especially this time of year. The weather's nice and such, and we need to be focusing a lot on reconnecting with nature. And like I said, conservation, um, storing up, stocking up. Normally this time of year, we're kind of starting to watch, and when it comes to like the things that we need from the earth, our herbs, whatever resources from nature that a lot of us tend to use, because we're going to be needing to start conserving and saving and stocking things up, not just because of the through the winter, but you're going to need to do extra, and you need to have some type of guardian or a familiar, because familiars are also something that's kind of important in the reading too. Um, to kind of watch over you while your back is turned, and see to it that your labor is protected, because somebody's sneaking around and is going to try to take credit for your work or take away what you've worked hard for. But especially with the way things are right now, um, putting back a little bit extra is really going to be important. If you do anything, of course, the Ten of Pentacles. Normally, this is a time, where you're happy. The weather is starting to warm up. We're not in the cold and dealing with all the snow. Most of us, some of us are dealing with some pretty bipolar weather right now. Um, but when it comes to those of you, when it comes to some things with astrology, your birth chart, that type of thing, you really need to look at that right now. Doing divination right now, whether it's scrying, tarot, whatever, and you really need to heed that advice, depending on whatever guides or animals, spirit animals, or deities that you're requesting advice from. You really need to pay attention to that and heed whatever that advice is, because they're leaving and getting away from the dark. This is the dark half of the year, and but they focus on some study and astrology and divination, spending time in solitude, and of course with the runes and stuff. So maybe someone also may be interested in learning about runes right now. But yeah, learning about the old ways, taking some time for reflection. And of course, he's kind of coming out of all the snow and such. So, um, really listening and paying attention to messages and spending some time in self reflection and solitude. And study. Let me get my pencil here so I can point some things out. So, whatever book or project, anything to do with creativity right now, your witch's grimoire, your spell book, whatever, you really need to be focusing on that during this time. And again, connection with your familiars. because they need to be watching your back while you're occupied, while your back is turned. So, whatever familiar spirit guide would, you need to be really connecting with them, and of course, paying attention to signs. I see the marks on the trees, and really focusing and putting a lot of your focus into study or whatever project that you're currently working on. Again, with your roots, and dusting yourself off from all of this, winter stuff we've been dealing with. Chakra work is very important right now. And again, with balance, as above, so below. Connecting with nature. Someone around you really needs to be, either you or someone around, someone needs something about getting your head out of the clouds right now. And being out in the sun and embracing that fire energy and that growth right now. And, getting outside and actually touching grass with your bare feet and reconnecting with nature, because that's very, very, very important. Now, as again, study your grimoires, whatever project you're working on, and also, again, conserving and stocking up and preparing for a journey, whether this is a physical journey, you're traveling, or a spiritual journey. But you need to be taking maps. You need to be taking time to study the route, work on your projects, and stocking up right now, and preparing. And kind of getting everything ready to go, so that, you never know. Stocking up on things, because you never know when you're going to need it later. You're never going to know when things are going to come in handy. A lot to do with like upcycling and reusing and recycling right now. Then with the economy and things, I have a feeling, because things are going to get a lot worse. So, staying to yourself. These are things that are going to be really important during this time. So, anyway, that was my Ostara reading for you guys. And we will be back hopefully in a week to do more reading with witches type of content. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, peace, love, and light.